Which period is characterized by maximum height gain in a child? Maximum height gain. So they are basically indirectly asking you which period height velocity, the rate of gaining height is maximum in the patient. And remember, as a one-liner also, you can remember that maximum height gain happens in a child in the first year of life, and that is your correct answer. So basically, you have to remember that if you remember correctly, what are the length or height gain patterns? Length or height gain patterns that we need to remember. Length or height gain pattern tells you that at birth, the length of a child, when the child is born, is about 50 centimeters. And at 1 year, in a normally growing child, it becomes about 75 centimeter. At 2 years, it becomes 87.5 to 90 centimeters. And at 4 years, it becomes 100 centimeter. Now, if you try to see the gain every year, you will find that in the first year, the child is gaining 25 centimeter in the first year. Then if you see again between 1 to 2 years, the child is gaining 12.5 centimeter in 1 year, in the second year. And as we go from birth till adulthood, the rate of gaining height goes on decreasing. And so what is the period in which maximum height gain happens in the child? It happens in the very first year of life. It happens in the very first year of life, and that is your correct answer. So now there might be a confusion. Ki, sir, what about puberty? Yes, in puberty, there is a upstroke. We call it as pubertal growth spurt. But pubertal growth spurt is not as much as a child gains in the first year of life. And so the answer to this question is A, that is first year of life. Now, what is the extra edge topic that you need to remember from exam perspective for the upcoming exam? Remember, it is relevant for FMG. It is also relevant for the NEET PG exam. So the topic that you need to remember from exam perspective is what are the different height velocities. So I'm writing on the side, what are the different height velocity per year? Height velocity per year. If you look at the standard textbooks, this is the only thing which has not been asked so far in FMG exam. If I am an examiner, I want to put a fresh question from anthropometry. This is the only thing from where question has not been asked. So these points which I'm writing, very important, add them to the notes and please revise them at least once before you go to the exam. Because if you read something but you don't revise, you will not be able to recall in the exam. So remember that in the first year of life, the height velocity in the patient is 25 height velocity of any child is 25 centimeter per year. In bracket, you can write that first 6 months, the child gains 16 centimeters and 6 to 12 months, the child gains 9 centimeter. So how much height gain or height velocity is there in the first year of life? It is 25 centimeter per year. Then between first to second year, 1 to second year of life. So starting from the first birthday to the second year, the height gain slows down. It becomes 12.5 centimeter per year. Between 3 to 6 years, the height gain becomes even more slow. It becomes 6 to 7 centimeter per year. And between 6 to 12 years, it becomes about 5 to 6 centimeter per year. What about puberty? In the pubertal period, the height gain becomes variable. The height gain becomes variable. What it means is, in case of boys, the peak growth spurt is about 10.5 centimeter per year. And in case of girls, it is only 9 centimeter per year. Right? And these are the values you are supposed to remember. In actual exam, there are fact-based questions and there are concept-based questions. It is a fact-based question. You are supposed to mug it up. In addition, there is a PYQ also asked on this. I will be covering as many PYQs along with conceptual discussion as possible. So I'm putting a Q and write doubling of birth length happens at what age? Doubling of birth length happens at 4 years of age. See, birth pay, what was the length? 50 centimeter. At 4 years, it becomes 100 centimeters. So doubling of birth length happens at 4 years of age. Another MCQ, half the adult height is attained at what age? Half the adult height is attained at 2 years of age. Half the adult height is attained at 2 years of age. What it means is 2 years age is 2 years height is 87.5. If you double it, it becomes the adult height, that is 175 centimeter. So both of them, I'm putting them in a different colored box. Both of them are PYQs. Both of them are previous year questions. If you don't remember them already, add them to your notes. So half the adult height is attained at 2 years of age. And this 2 years of age, it is not 18 to 24 months, Ronak Agarwal, it is 24 to 30 months, which is a better answer if you have ranges mentioned. It is not 18 to 24. It is wrongly mentioned at some places. It is 24 to 30 months, which is the better answer, right? We have to take the Indian standards into consideration, not the American standards. Americans are taller than us, right? So this is the first question. The answer is A, and these are the key points and PYQs related